So in this video, I want to talk about women needing validation to boost their self-esteem. We're seeing this a lot, especially on social media. We've seen it on television and movies. We have a culture itself that has a lot of low self-esteem. And I think it's due to growing up in broken homes. Because in this video, I'm going to try to break down why, not the surface level, not the end result or the current status, but more of the why, what is the root of the issue? And I think the root of the issue goes back to the 60s and 70s when you had the civil rights movements and you had the feminist movements. You had communities, let's say the black community, that was overtaken by feminism, the feminist mindset. You had a group of women who I would say never really felt they had the validation that they needed. And by joining the feminist movement, it gave them a sense of validation. The civil rights movement did too, but I don't think that black women felt truly accepted in the feminist movement, which I can disagree with. I think a lot of people would disagree with, because during those marches and protests, a lot of stuff went on that you did not want women involved in. But nonetheless, a lot of black women during that time caught on to not only the feminist movement, but also the fact that the government started to provide, free housing to single mothers as long as they didn't have a father in the home. And what that did was it took the man who was the disciplinarian, who was the rock of the family, who was the protector and the provider. Well, I would say the wife is the rock and the backbone, but the father was the protector and the provider. Okay? Once you extract them out of that situation, and you take a woman who's never been on her own ever, and she has children, and you put her in an environment with other women like her, what do you think that's going to do with her psychologically? What do you think that's going to do with her children psychologically? That woman is not going to be able to protect them children. That woman is not going to be able to give them the right discipline without being on the verge of abusiveness. A lot has gone on in these single parent households that no one wants to talk about, but they want to blame everything on men. And it's like, if you extract the father out of the household, what do you think is going to happen? You're going to have an over-aggressive, angry, bitter woman who's going to have a very low self-esteem, who is going to be lazy and content, who is going to want the attention of any man that comes around. And she's going to distance her kids from their father because she's angry at him for no reason, because she's the one who kicked him to the curb. And when you do that, it totally destroys a relationship that kids have with their father. But also, you do have a lot of abuse that goes on in these single-parent homes. People want to make excuses and say, well, it went on a lot in two-parent homes too. It didn't go on as much if that father was in that home. Discipline would be there, someone to actually keep different men from coming in and out of that household. Women didn't do that. I told you, when you have a lot of low self-esteem women on their own, being taken care of by the government, what the fuck you think gonna happen? Just think about it. What do you think is gonna happen in that household? She's gonna have different men coming in and out of that household. She's gonna be dating a bunch of perverted degenerates. Not all the time, because there are men who get with a lot of these women, they marry them, and they're able to become a father figure in that household. But the majority of the women who are on this Section 8, welfare, a lot of these women will party and drink, and they will date all kinds of different men who they will bring around their children. And you also have abuse in households coming from these family members. Again, you don't have a father in the home. Because you cannot let a low self-esteem female think that she's actually in control of anything. Because that's going to make it worse. We're seeing what a lot of these low self-esteem women are doing on social media now. They're doing on television and movies. Look at the way that they're dressing their children. They're dressing their boys like the men that they date. They're dressing the girls like themselves. And these will be tiny children, toddlers. These women have no shame. None. Mentally unstable. And this is where the men going their own way ideology comes in. Because you have to stop giving these type of women attention. You have to stop pursuing them, telling them how beautiful they are. The more men who understand their simpish ways, the less these women will be validated by compliments and by social media in general. Because I'll tell you this, women will get great compliments all day. You're beautiful. You look good. You know, hey, how you doing? But then they'll get that one comment that says that, you know, you're not that attractive, or, you know, I don't like what you have on. You know, that's not how you should parent your kids. Like, now I know people say, well, those are disrespectful, but listen to me now. You're getting 99 good compliments, or good comments. You get one comment you don't like, and all of a sudden now you're going back and forth with this person. A person will say, well, everybody talk about how beautiful you are, then you have a comment saying that, you know, you're not that attractive, or I don't see what the big deal is, you know. Or you will try to tell other people in the comment section, you know, stop simping for this chick, man. She and her simps are going in on you. Because these women have very low self-esteem. They have very low self-esteem, man. They don't like when people have a difference of opinion than them. It bothers them. You see it with a lot of men, too. A lot of men have problems with you disagreeing with them. They get upset and angry because you don't think the same way that they do. These dudes are bitch made, I'm telling you. But these are the types of dudes who date women like that, who are seeking validation. Like the attention seekers on social media, 9 times out of 10, they're dating the same type of dudes who are bickering and arguing on YouTube or on other platforms. Those are the same type of dudes. The fake tough guy, the wannabe thugs, they're dating those guys. You know, dudes who can't even look at you and look you straight in the eye, or, you know, this nigga's like 40 and dressing like he's 22. Y'all know these dudes. And it's like, those are the type of men these women are dating. And they're giving these women the validation that they need because, one, she's probably paying for everything. She's probably taking care of the guy. So that's why they're willing to get on social media and make a complete fool of themselves at the behest of this woman who could care less about them. And also another thing, women will flirt and cheat on social media all day long. But when they get called out, they want to talk about how they're in a relationship or they're married or they can do whatever they want. Or they'll quote some Bible verse. Because religion is another way that they deflect from a lot of what's said and done. They're always using religion. Even though those same people who they go to church to see are doing the same things that a lot of these dudes out here are doing, which is sleeping around with different women, cheating on their girlfriends and wives, but they're listening to the word from that guy. That is the type of society that we're in, and this is what we're dealing with now. You know? You have certain communities that are disintegrating, that are they're going backwards, all the way backwards. And it's because of the behavior of the women. Because the women reflect the men. It's as simple as that.